Hi everybody, Bob Gager from Adobe here with another installment of Ask Bob, where I get to answer questions posed by our Facebook fans. Today's question comes from Kevin, and Kevin wants to know how to put two photos side by side in a single image to show kind of that before and after effect. Well, Kevin, that's actually pretty easy. Here I've got a couple of photos, actually a before and after. Here's the before shot, and here's the after shot after I've boosted this photo a little bit in Photoshop Elements. And we want to put these side by side. So the first thing I want to do is start with the after shot and basically change the canvas size. Now the canvas is the amount of area on the screen that you get to have your image in. So we want a bigger canvas so we can put both photos side by side. To do that, I come up to the Image menu and I select Resize Canvas Size. And this dialog pops up. You can work in lots of different units. I actually prefer to work in pixels, but if you want to work in inches, you can do that as well. So this after image right now is 1050 pixels wide and 582 pixels tall. And I can decide, do I want to make it taller or wider or both? In this case, I just want to make it wider, so I'm actually going to pretty much double it. So let's just go to 2500, just a bigger number. We can crop it later if we need. And then this control down here, this anchor, lets me control which direction the canvas grows. If I leave it in the default position, it'll grow in all directions. If I click something like that, it'll grow up. What I want to do is actually have it grow to the left and up, so I'm just going to click right there. Now you can also control how the canvas gets filled when it is expanded. So you can either choose white, black, gray, your foreground or background color, or some other color. I'm going to just leave it black. And then all I have to do is click OK. My canvas is expanded to the left in this case and filled with black. Now I want to see my entire picture. So if I just come over here on the left and double click on the hand tool, you can actually see what has happened. This was the original canvas size, just the size of the photo, and we've expanded the canvas all the way to the left to make it much bigger to hold our before image. Now I'll come down to the layout menu. I'll just pick layout and I'll pick all columns, and now I've got my photos side by side. I might want to do a little zooming. In this case I want to zoom out so I can see my whole photo, and again in this case I want to zoom out so I can see my whole photo. Now with my before picture selected, this one over here on the left, you can see over here on the layers panel I have layer 1, which is the only layer in this photo. I just drag and drop right onto that photo. And now actually I can close the before. I don't need that anymore. I'm just working with the after. If I get my move tool, you can see if I've got this layer selected, I've got the handles for that layer. Now the image resolution of these two images is different, and so that's why this image is actually bigger than fits here. So I just want to grab one of these handles and start dragging down, maybe drag this bottom one up until I get all of the before image fitting inside my black background. And I can leave some black if I want, or I can make them big so all of that black is hiding. Whatever effect you're after at the end of the day, Kevin, that's what you want to do there. Then just click the green check mark and it'll go ahead and apply those changes. If I double click the hand again, you can see I automatically zoom in, and what I want to do here is now grab my crop tool and just crop this image to make it fit the two images before and after side by side, something like that. Go ahead and hit the green arrow to accept the crop. I notice I've got a little bit of black border across the bottom here. I didn't get it quite resized, so again select layer 1 and maybe drag that just a little bigger to cover up that black. There we go. So now I've got my images side by side. Hopefully this is something similar to what you were looking to do. What I'd actually do here is maybe add some text. I'm not sure what you're really after, but I could do something fun if I come over to graphics and make sure I'm selected by type and text. I can scroll down to a lot of these fancy graphics we've got, just do a drag and drop and then start typing. This is before, and accept and move that about where I want it. And then if we switch back to our layers panel, you can see that action added a text layer for before. If I just drag and drop that onto the new layer icon, it will duplicate it. So now we've got before copy if I just drag that over here, double click it, and type after, I've now got before and after. So we get some little visual indication of what's going on. And in fact, for me, what I do to make this even look a little bit better is add a drop shadow to both of these text layers. So I'm going to come over here to favorites, because in my favorites panel I've collected a couple of my favorites. The low drop shadow is one I use quite often, so if I just drag and drop that drop shadow on, you can see I've added a drop shadow to the word before. And if I do the same thing to the word after, I can add a drop shadow. It's not quite as obvious on that picture. And there you go. We've now got two pictures side by side. Double click the hand to expand them a little bit. We've got my two pictures side by side, the before image that I started with, so that's fresh out of the camera, and then the after image, what I was able to do to that picture with a little bit of work in Photoshop Elements. Hope that's what you were looking for, Kevin, and continue to ask some questions on our Facebook page. Thanks.